Hello, hello. Hey, everyone. Today we're talking visibility. I was thinking before about that Olivia Newton-John song, and I was like, let's get visible, visible. All right. So I'm super excited to do this topic. It is a topic very close to my heart. Somebody the other day said to me, how are you going? How's your business been in lockdown? And I was like, honestly, I sell like online visibility and health. Like I'm good. I'm busy. And now I have 3 kids at home. So it's like, it's super crazy. But I'm excited to share these guests and this topic with you guys today. I know a lot of people on my journey of whatever 15 plus years working with people, a lot of people have said to me, I don't want to put myself out there. I don't want to be pushy. So I'm super excited to dive into those limiting beliefs and also to give some specific actions that you guys can do if you want to be more visible in your business and how you can make that happen with my amazing guests. So let's bring them in. Here we go. Yay. So we have Leanne Costa from Better Your Biz. Hey, Leanne.
Hey. Hi. Nice to be here.
All the way from Australia, we've got Tanya McQueen, our video expert. Hey, Tanya.
Hey, nice to see you guys.
And then we've got Kat Galluccio, author of 2 books, 3? 2 or 3 books. Motivational speaker, Kat Galluccio. Hi, Kat.
Hi, Nat. Hi.
Amazing. So let's dive into the topic. So if you guys are joining us live or you're watching the replay, as always, I love to know where everyone is coming from. Sometimes we have people, international people joining us as well. So go ahead and comment in the chat box. Also, since we're talking about business, I love networking. Go ahead and mention your business name. You're welcome to put it in a link as well. May as well take the opportunity. So Leanne, I would love it if you could kick us off. I'm going to read a little bit of an intro about you. And then I would love it if you could elaborate that and dive into your first tip. So here we go. Let me find my intro for you. Leanne Costa, some of you may know her. I mean, we've probably been friends for about 7 years in business, but you were in a different business when you started, which I'll let you share that. But Leanne Costa is an award-winning marketer and business owner who specializes in delivering smart systems to business owners. She helps business owners save time, make money, and create freedom to do more of what they love. Who does not want that? Leanne loves business efficiency, strategy, and systems, productivity, and is passionate and committed to helping business owners implement these things and streamlining and automating. One of the things I love about Leanne is we are so different. Like I'm a star personality, if you know the wealth dynamics, and Leanne is a mechanic. And so together, like what a great team. So I'm super excited to introduce you, Leanne. Can you elaborate a little bit in the backstory and then take us to tip number 1?
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Nat. So my first business, they say do something you're passionate about, and I'm very passionate about dogs. So I decided to open a doggy daycare. So I opened the premises in Albany in Auckland. Didn't have one client through the doors, had to invite other people's dogs in to make us look busy to start, but then grew the business from there. And pretty easy to market dogs, actually. Everyone loves watching dogs run around having fun. So over the 5 years, ran the business and then sold the business to move on to the next part of my journey, which I felt really passionate about, helping other business owners with their systems and processes. And part of that is online visibility in business. Yay. So should I dive into the tip?
Yeah, take us to tip number 1.
So tip number 1, the major thing that I help business owners with is the online presence. So it's all about being seen online. So it's, there's so many great businesses in New Zealand, but it's all about being seen online. And Kiwis in these challenging times, they want to support each other more than ever. But if we don't know about these businesses, we can't support them. So it's about having that online visibility, but also credibility, so that the prospects will take that next step in buying from you. So 3 platforms that I recommend for business owners, or most business owners, would be Facebook, so you can really connect with your clients. LinkedIn, so that's a great tool in terms of business connections and leads. It's not just an online CV anymore. And also Google Business. So if you haven't registered for Google Business, please go and claim your business listing, because it really helps with those Google rankings.
Ooh, I'm so happy that you mentioned the Google Business, because this is something that I learned about 6 months ago. And I was like, oh yeah, let's pop that on the to-do list. How many people have 1,000 things on their to-do list, right?
Yeah.
And I never did it. And I knew, oh, this is a good idea. Like it made sense. I just didn't prioritize it. And I love visibility, and I love clients. So, but anyway, didn't make it happen. And then I said to Leanne, listen, can you just do that for me? Can you just make that happen? So I think it's so good that you mentioned those 3 places. I mean, especially LinkedIn as well, which I'm in love with LinkedIn. I actually spend like even just a little bit of time every week, just a little bit, half an hour hour a week or something on LinkedIn can make a massive shift in your business. So that's cool that you mentioned those. Awesome. So I'll just take it to the chat for a moment. We've got Amanda Betts joining us. She was one of our guests the other week, which was such an incredible session. If you guys if you guys haven't seen some of the other episodes, you can check them out. NatalieCutlerWelsh.com/video series. I think this is probably episode 10 or 11 at the minute. We've got someone saying, hey, ladies, good to see you. I'm working on my visibility at the moment. Thank you, Chris Callanan. And we've got Shannon joining from Wayuku. Her business
Shannon.
is chaos. Her business is chaos and confidence, helping women build confidence in themselves and their business and thrive in the chaos of everyday life. Yes, indeed. Awesome. All right, Tanya, let's hear about you. So you and I have been friends probably for 8 years. Like I vividly remember, I don't know if you remember, I vividly remember meeting you at Laurel McClay's event. It was at a tiny bespoke hotel in Auckland. And it was in the very early days of both, I don't know about your, but in my business. And it was one of those events where there's only 8 women. And it was just like a pivotal, bonding, fun, scary at the same time weekend for me. And I vividly remember you, and then we just became friends and connected on and off ever since. And now you've left me and you've gone over to Aussie, but we'll hear about more of that later. So Tanya McQueen is an elite video coach. She helps people feel confident and authentic in front of the camera. So good at that. So that they can connect with their clients in a professional and entertaining way. Yes. Also helping you stand out. I know that is something people are like, how do I stand out from my competition? How do I stand out? So maybe you can touch on that. She's been filming business owners over 10 years and created thousands of successful and powerful, engaging videos, teaching people to become their own filmmakers, because there's definitely some do's and don'ts. So this is Tanya from McQueen Films. Welcome, Tanya.
So I'm so excited to be here, and that, I'll never forget that meeting, because it was like this little kind of bear cave hub, and something magical happened, and I don't know what it was, but we've all done amazing things since then, and it's so cool to see you all. And so, yeah, I've been filming people for a very, very long time, and I started to realize that I could actually teach people how to film. And I'm over in the Sunshine Coast in Queensland at the moment. I got called over here to, well, it felt like a big holiday, and it still does. It's a lot of fun. And I've got one of these guys on my course, and he said, so you're teaching me to fish rather than giving me the fish. And it's exactly what I've decided to do with my business now. So I still film business owners, but I'm more passionate about teaching you what I've learned over the 10 years and the 30 years of a business experience in video, so that you can make your own videos. And not have to pay thousands of dollars to do them, to get them paid and get them done. So I was sitting down and I was thinking about what's the most powerful message or tip that I can give you all today. And, it was instantly obvious to me. Every time before I start filming myself, or I film other clients, and I've done this for the past 10 years or more, I bring ritual into my filming. Now, it might be an unusual tip, but you've got to listen and hear me out there. So I start with ritual. It's the most powerful tool that you can do, is being the authentic you, over and above on how you look, what lighting you're using, what sound you're using. How many of you have watched videos that have gone viral and there's been the sound and the looks and everything's been terrible? Mm-hmm. Quite a few, right? Mm-hmm. So being authentically you, and if you want to stand out, you have to be you. You can't try and be like anybody else. So this is what I do. I'm going to share what I do secretly and outwardly every time I film, even before I started this course. So I start with a ritual, intentional prayer. So I close my eyes and I give thanks to the land that I'm standing on. I give thanks to the earth, no matter where I am. This grounds me in earthly power, because I'm a human being, right? I might be a highly evolved spiritual being, but I'm a human being. Then I ask my guides, my higher self, my guidance to be present with me now. Anything that you think that's bigger than you, to be present. So I pray to them to give me strength to expand my soul energy from within, and only to speak my truth. And that those that hear my message, see my video, are attracted to me and my soul energy. Then I ask, and this is really important once I feel that, then I ask that only things for my highest good are allowed to be in my filming. Anything that is not for the highest good of myself to please leave right now. And again, I pause and I tune in to make sure that everything's all clear. And that this clears my own energy for my own self-sabotage about worrying about what other people think. And also the stuff and the energy here that we can't see that might be sabotaging my filming. So I'm really intent on pulling that in. Then I ask that my energy of my soul in the video recording or this meeting returns to the higher part of myself. And that's because sometimes people doing video, and a lot of native cultures believe that if they take a picture of your soul, it captures part of your energy, and so do I. And it's really important, if you've got lots of video out there, your soul can feel quite scattered and erratic and not really, centered. So I ask that energy comes back to me. Then I take a deep breath, and if I feel there's any other words I need to say, and then I just say, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I close my eyes, and when it feels complete and grounded in my soul and energy, then I can start filming. And it's a powerful tip. It's probably the best tip that anything I can teach anybody is the power of prayer and intention before you even push record. Doesn't matter where you are, whether you're on Facebook Live, Zoom calls, and that's about you taking spiritual responsibility for yourself, if you know what I mean. If you want your soul to be visible and you're on this call because you know that it wants to, then you have to acknowledge your soul energy before you start on film. So I hope that adds something to it. It's not a technical tip, but add a bit more on that. What do you ladies think about that?
They are loving it. I don't know if you can see the chat, but we've got Ponamu Skelton, we've got Kate Hall, we've got Ann Cullen, and they're just like, love this, Tanya. Very powerful. This is so beautiful. Wow, Tanya, love it. Awesome ritual. It's really, really resonating with people. And I think particularly because people often think video, particularly, it's so much about them and how they look and are they going to say the right thing and what will people think? But you're taking us right to like, let's just get grounded and centered and let me speak my truth and the higher intention. That is really resonating with people. What a brilliant thing to start with. Thank you.
Okay, my pleasure. And that's all you need to do. But you have to do something to remind you who you are, and that works. So thank you.
Brilliant. Love it. Yes, they are totally loving it. All right, let's go to Kat. So we've got Kat Galluccio, who I've known for, 4 or 5 years. And I'm so excited to have Kat here. Your studio, by the way, looks amazing. So that's a good tip for people. So I'm going to read. It looks good. Woman's Life and Online Community Strategist, author of the 21 Hacks to Rock Your Life series. She's got a recent book about teens. So if you got teenagers, definitely get in touch. A qualified educator, personal trainer, and life coach. New Zealand-based Kat Galluccio is a vibrant and dynamic speaker, totally, and coach, and a champion of midlife women, leading her to found the online community Rocking Midlife. It's a massive community, 50,000, is it? Something like that?
The page is 50,000. The community is 5,400 of really engaged
massive
ladies. Yeah.
And incredible engagement. So we can talk about engagement too. She's passionate about seeing women, especially at midlife, empowered to live on purpose, creating the lives and legacies that they want for their families and communities. Welcome, Kat.
Thank you.
It would be great if you could just give us a little bit more backstory. I know there's so many elements to what you've done with the personal training, and you were a professional musician. Take us wherever you want around visibility, and then tip number 1.
Okay. I am someone who made a midlife reinvention. Well, one of my first midlife reinventions, because it's an ever-evolving kind of process. But I made my first one back when I was 43, when I'd been homeschooling my teenagers for 6 years because they were elite athletes. My youngest got accepted into university, and I was faced with a choice. Do I become redundant in my role and pine for what I had and for what my family life used to be like? Or do I re-embrace the now and make some positive steps to move forward in my life? So I choose to do the latter. And at that time, I chose to go train to be a personal trainer, which is a whole story in itself, because I'd never even set foot in a gym for about 10 years prior and took everyone by surprise. But I'd nailed it down to I wanted to be able to serve people and help people. And I felt that was a way that I could continue to do that. So in that process, I found myself facing 3 things as a brand new graduated trainer. I was working in a gym in an area that I knew nobody. I was in a field where I knew nobody. I had no history, no career history in the fitness industry. And on top of that, as Nat knows, even though it might not look it online, I'm an introvert in real life. So I had three things against me. So I had to learn, how can I build my business as an introvert with no career history and not knowing anybody? How do I do that? And I actually built my PT business, which ended up to being fully booked, by going online and being visible. In fact, I did it primarily through Facebook groups, which is one of the things I teach about now with online communities.
Yeah.
And being visible was actually a real challenge, particularly at midlife, because it's like, well, I don't look as glamorous as these young girls. You know, I have the wrinkles. Some days you're getting all three chins happening. And, at the moment I've got the lockdown hair growth happening that so many of us are coping with. So you face those dilemmas every day. But it was through being visible in an authentic way that people created connection with me. And I read somewhere the other day that connection is the currency of businesses in 2020. Because what's the thing that we've lost in this lockdown period? We've lost connection in real life with people, haven't we? So being visible online now is your way of creating that connection with people, which is what will help eventually them want to know more about you and your services and what you can provide. So that's how I actually built my business, and that's what we need now in this era. We need to be visible, flaws and all, in an authentic way, so that people can connect with us and what we have to offer.
Yes. And it's never been easier, right? Now that we have Facebook Live, Instagram Live. But I know that obviously for some people it's very intimidating. So we're definitely going to share. We're going to give you guys hopefully some inspiration today and some actionable tips to help you be visible, whatever that means to you. So I would love it if people watching, let us know, comment in the chat box, or even just scribble yourself a note. Like, what does visible mean to you? Because I guess one of my first tips is going to be around having a really clear intention. In fact, I think one of the visibility killers is unclear intention.
Yeah.
I often have people say to me, and I had someone say to me last week when I was on a coaching call, oh, I really should do more Facebook Lives. And I was like, really? Like, should? So anytime I hear the word should, you guys know me. I think, oh, you're in the should zone about visibility. You think you should, or you said you would. And so that's a little bit of a red flag to me. So I often go, well, why? And I do this. And anyone that knows me, this is what this means is, what is your intention? Like, where are you heading? Where is your goal? And I go, well, okay, Facebook Lives, but why? Like, what is your actual intention? So I wanted to ask you guys that. The people watching, really think deep about, what does visibility mean to me? Or is it just that I think, oh no, we're having COVID, I should be more visible? Well, maybe not. It really depends on your business model and your intentions. So that's something to be aware of. That's my tip number one, is a visibility killer, unclear intentions. Yeah. All right, I'm getting the thumbs up from the video coach.
I really love that, because so many people just get online and they do a Facebook Live, and I know you've all seen them, and they just blubber about nothing. There's no structure, there's no intention, and I go on there to listen because I'm going there because I want something, and they're not talking about, they're just talking about stuff. So one thing that I do with most of my people that I do coaching with is a video strategy, is like for a whole year, marketing of your videos. What are you doing, and when are you doing, and why are you doing the Facebook Live? What's your intention? What are you giving people? And when you get clear on what it is that you want, filmmakers they don't just randomly pick a camera and start filming. They spend years and years, I think it was 15 years for Avatar before they even started filming to get that really planned. So yeah. I totally agree with you, Natalie. I think intention on what is your message and what are you giving people with your video.
And of course, as Kat alluded to, over the years, things evolve and we kind of reinvent ourselves or whatever, even within business. And so sometimes whatever your intention was, 6 months ago might have changed. And so just stopping for a moment and pausing and making a plan. And then also I think for each and every video before you click that button. Right before you click that button, it's like, hang on a second. What do I want people to do? What am I giving here? And having a little mini plan before you record each video. All right, let's go to tip number 2 from Leanne.
Cool. Okay, so tip number 2 for me is all around building trust. So being visible online, but also building the trust so that people take that next step in the buying process. So 80% of sales happen on the 5th to 12th contact. So if you're putting videos or you're putting emails out there, don't expect people just to buy straight away. They need to be nurtured. You don't go in for the kiss straight away. You nurture people. So it's not about just selling online. You give to them, you nurture, you educate your audience. Know, like, trust. So KLT, not KFC. KLT. Everyone's crazy for KFC at the moment.
Nice lockdown joke.
Yeah, so it's just building trust. So testimonials, reviews. If you've been on TV, put pictures of you on TV. If you've won awards, say that you've won awards, you know. And it is harder for us to promote those things about ourselves, but we need to be able to help people, and they need to have that trust in us to move forward with us so that we can help them in their business.
I think
yes,
there's so many good points there, especially about if you've been on TV and if you've won awards. I know that in New Zealand we have this tall poppy situation going on. But I always say to people, like, if, like Leanne, when she, you know, her introduction, it says award winner, because she is an award winner. It's like, why not say it? It's true. And I even say to people, if they are a speaker or they want to be a speaker and they've done a little bit, put speaker in your Instagram bio so that at least people know, or presenter or facilitator or MC or whatever it is. Because then you're kind of claiming it, and and that's how people are going to know you. So I think it's really important, like you said, to kind of claim what you have done and celebrate those wins, and people will trust you more. Yes.
Yeah. It's just that evidence for people to trust you. You know, it's not about blowing your own trumpets. It's just about giving that evidence so that they know that they can trust you.
Nice. All right, let's go to Tanya for her second one.
Okay, well, building some trust. First of all, I won an award at school for my cat with the longest whiskers. So does that put
that in?
Oh, I could give you some competition, I think. I've got one right here.
Let's have a look here. Oh, yeah, I have to agree with that one. So, you know, one of the other second thing that I need to give you a tip on is if you don't like yourself on camera, no one will. If you look at yourself on video and go, oh my God, I can't stand that, do not put the video out. No one's going to like it either. Again, it's the airy-fairy unseen stuff that works. So I'm going to tell you 3 things as to why you don't like your camera self. So first of all, when you've been looking at yourself in the mirror I've been looking at myself in the mirror, well, I don't often, but I do, for 50-something years. So when I look at myself on camera, I'm a mirror reflection. I'm seeing a reflection, the opposite of what I look like in a mirror. So my brain, the neural pathways in my brain says, Tanya looks like this. I look on camera and I look completely different. How many times have you had one photo where someone's taking a photo of you and everybody loves it and you go, oh my God, have they got to be joking? So your brain's wired, first of all, not to like yourself on camera. Secondly, when I'm talking, I think I sound pretty sexy and cool and awesome on camera. But then when I hear myself, I think that doesn't sound like me. It's because I'm hearing myself inside my head, not out in the air here. So there's 2 things going on. One is you don't look like you don't sound like you. And then there's this amazing collective consciousness thing called glossophobia. It's the fear of public speaking. Everybody, their mouths get dry, they get sweaty hands. Even if they go online on something like this, there's an element of fear. And witches have been burnt at the stake for speaking their truth. Lots of people have, you know, been murdered for speaking their truth. Still today, when they speak the truth, it still happens. So there's an element of fear there. So if you love filming yourself for the first time and like the sound of yourself and nothing happens, then you're a bit odd. And so my recommendation to you is to practice filming yourself before you do any of those lives, to get really comfortable in your body and your language and move around. Don't just sit like a talking head. It's okay to move when you're on camera, and watch yourself. And so create a new neural pathway of how you look, how you sound, and how you feel. And that will help you shine. That will help you stand out amongst everybody else, because you'll again be being you. So those are things that you can address to help you sort your, you know, it's not your fault if you don't like it, is what I'm saying. You're meant to not like seeing yourself on camera.
But the key there is almost, you're saying, is like not get used to it, but just get familiar with yourself so that when you do it, you're comfortable. It's interesting because people sometimes say to me, oh, Nat, you know, you seem so comfortable on camera. I'm like, but I've done like 200 podcasts, which is voice only. And when you're podcasting, you don't have to worry about what you look like or where your eyes are going or your hands or anything. Like, I've got crazy hands. So because I had all that training of just being able to speak, then you put the video part in. So it is a lot for people to take in. So I love your tips. You even got a comment here. Love you, Tanya McQueen. Tell your head to shush. Your voice is sexy.
Yeah, well, for the lady that sells lovely bras. Thank you, Carmen.
Leanne or Kat, do you want to comment?
Don't worry
Do you
about
want to comment on the first time videoing or anything like that before we move on?
I highly recommend that you do not do Facebook Live to practice. I'm over people going, oh, this is my Facebook Live. I'm so nervous. I don't know what I'm doing. Well, don't do it then. Film yourself with your phone, play with your kids, play with it, practice, practice, practice until you turn on that camera and you're not nervous because nobody cares. I'm sorry, but they don't care if you're nervous, and it's not being authentic. It's poor business boundaries, in my opinion. So get comfortable and practice with your phone, practice with your kids, get them to film you. If you don't have any kids, get your cat behind the phone and practice with that. And don't worry about using your hands, Nat. Don't worry about using your hands. Now, I'm sitting straight on and my hands look
Yeah, you are.
You can just turn to the side and talk with your hands like this because it's about energy. I'm moving around. It's a bit more exciting, a bit more entertaining than just sitting here like this, talking to you like this. There's no energy with it. So be you.
Okay, and someone's saying they agree, practice before going live. The thing is, with live, like when you do go live, there will be a first time, like even if you've practiced on your phone. So my advice there would be, number one, I often give this tip. I say, stand up and walk and talk. So if you're doing your first Facebook Live and you're nervous, well, this position, really stationary, is going to be really stressful. So I usually say to people, literally, like, get up, and then walk and talk and go, hey guys, and you're literally walking and you're videoing yourself. It just makes you more relaxed rather than if you're trying to like just sit there and selfie video, or if it's worse is if someone else is holding the video. I change into a different person when someone else is holding the video. So that's my advice. Walk and talk if you're doing your first Facebook Live, or do it into a group, because in a group it's smaller and it's not like public. So that kind of takes the pressure down. And with any Facebook Live, of course, you can go and delete it after if you want to. All right, let's go to Kat, who is very experienced with groups and obviously Facebook Live as well. Any additional things there, or tip number 2 from you?
Okay, well, tip number 2 for me rolls on from number 1, and it touches on exactly what Leanne was saying about building trust, and that's being authentic. Be yourself, and be yourself, but with some practice, like what Tanya's saying as well. So yes, you don't necessarily, you can, I have gone out there at times and said, hey, I'm feeling this or this today. I haven't always done it when I'm in my best moment, but with that vulnerability, there was still some measure of control in that I knew how to video, I knew how to do things. So you do practice, and I'll give you some practical tips that work for me, right? Number 1, before I get on any calls, I turn Zoom on and look at myself, and I have a look at where my camera is going, and I just check if my makeup's all right and those sort of things, and then I turn it off, or I go to whatever platform that I'm working in. Little things like that. It's part of what Tanya said. You're getting used to seeing yourself, and quite frankly, the older you get, the less you really want to look at what's there up close. But it's life, and you've got to be able to show that authentic part of you to everybody else, because if you're not brave enough to do it, what about the other people in your community who are looking to you to help them get the courage to break through what they're trying to do? So that's why I'm really particular, especially about midlife women, and not the glamorous model midlife women, but I'm talking regular, everyday midlife women getting up there and being more visible so that we can see these beautiful, vulnerable souls and have that connection with them. And then as we get to know them, then we want to see what they've got to offer and what their services are. Other practical tips. I've got a music stand right here. I'm not using it today, but look, I have a music stand here with, a big book. That's notes for a summit I was doing last week. I have Post-its stuck on my computer when I have key points to make. There's so many little things you can do, little practical tips. Remember, the viewer only sees this much, so you can have all sorts of props and bits and pieces. I've always got a glass of water nearby because I do get a dry mouth. So there's little things you can do. See, there we go. Little things that you can do. Cheers, ladies.
Yeah. Cheers.
Yeah.
And so you can even pause and have a drink, and it's okay. Just be relaxed, be authentic, and your message will flow through the more relaxed and authentic that you are in your presentation. But do what you need to do to help you do that presentation.
Nice. Love it. That was so good. So many good little nuggets of tips in there for sure. You guys, if you just jumped in now, you can definitely watch the replay. It's going to be live and ready for you straight away after this recording. But I also do record show notes. So if you're wanting some of the tips that we've captured eventually, maybe a week later, I do have them up on my website. So you can catch the show notes for this next week. So I actually did a webinar about a week or two ago. I haven't done one in a long time. But it was actually about presenting online. And it was driven by the fact that now that people are in lockdown and they feel like they need to be more visible. So I just got on and did a webinar all about presenting online. And so if anyone wants to grab that, I will put that in the show notes as well. It's on YouTube. It's on my YouTube channel. But I talked a little bit about the 5 Ps of presenting. I'm not going to be able to remember them right now. But definitely, one of them, like I talk about it wasn't P, it was F, your framing, where you're sitting in terms of the frame, your face. And the face is interesting because I actually showed a before and after photo. I said, this is me without makeup and this is me 8 minutes later. And I look way better, but I still look like myself. So I talked about your face, but I didn't just mean makeup. I meant facial expressions. So if someone the other day put a video in my Amplify membership and she asked for feedback, which I think is awesome. And I did say, like, it would be great if you could smile more. So when I say face, I don't just mean, do you look pretty? I mean, are you relatable? Are you animated? Like, I'm super animated. Like, I almost have to calm the F down. Whereas other people, I say to them, I say, listen, when you do your video, when you do your webinar, you need to stand up because it'll boost your energy, right? Some people, they just are more calm. I call them the calm people. And I say for the calm people, they need to possibly stand up when they do their video or even a 40-minute webinar. Yes, standing the whole time, because it just raises their energy slightly. Whereas other people, not necessarily. So anyway, I talked about the different Fs. And one of them was focus. Like, what is your goal? What is your intention, your topic for the actual Facebook Live? And finally, it was, what was the last one? Your finale. And so your finale, what I meant by that is, what do you want the people to do? Like, is it, hey guys, if you love this, go ahead and like tag a friend below. So that would be like a call to action. You're telling them to do something. You're making it pretty easy. Or, hey guys, if you liked what I mentioned, come and check out my Amplify membership. I'll put the link below. So that's kind of a salesy type call to action. So the final F is about your finale. Like, what is your ending point? So it's not just ramble, done. So if anyone wants to learn what the other F's are, because I sure can't remember them, I will put the link. I'll put the link in the notes. So my second tip is around another visibility killer, which I call comparinitis. So if you have comparinitis, it means you are consistently comparing yourself to other people. Like, you're watching people doing a Facebook Live or an Instagram and you're like, oh, they're so good. They're such a natural. I could never do it. Or you're judging other people. Like, look at her. Oh my God, I can't believe she's wearing that. What is she thinking? Like, so it's like, you know what? Either way, you're being judgy pants and it doesn't serve you. So it's like, don't compare yourself to everyone. You are freaking awesome and just do it, but have a plan and do a little bit of practice.
And that it's about not comparing your step 1 to someone else's step 20. You might be at the start of the journey, someone else is further along in the journey. So you've got to put that in perspective,
That's so true.
All the way from visibility through to the business journey or parenting or everything. It's like, just if we compare ourselves to other people's lives, it's a killer. Thank you, Jackie, for joining us. Diane also joining us, and Cara from America. Very exciting. Hey, girls, we're going to do this next round, which I call the What's Cool About You. So this is where we get to see a little bit of a window into our guests, a little bit of a cool thing about them, and also how you can connect with them online. Also, ladies, if you've got anything coming up, like Leanne, I know you just launched a program. Now's the time. Kat, you've got your book. So for sure, make sure you mention that. And I, of course, will put all the links. I'll go and update the description and I'll put the links in there as well. So Leanne, what is cool about you?
Well, I had a really great experience a couple of years ago, and I was lucky enough to attend a Bali business school. And when I was over there, I was also very lucky to have my first experience out in the sea diving under the water with all the fish and stuff, which was absolutely amazing. So I got my dive ticket and now I can dive, and it's just opened up a whole nother world under there.
Awesome. And now it's level 2 almost. So you can go diving anytime.
I can go again. Yeah, it's a bit cold now.
Awesome. So how can people find you online and what have you got coming up?
Yeah, so what I actually launched in level 4, along with Amanda Betts, who was one of the speakers last week, is a building business confidence online program. So we've had a number of mostly ladies and 2 males going through that program, and so that will be starting again in another couple of weeks. So that's a good group option. And also what I do for people is I work out their online presence. So they can go on to my website. I'll put the link actually in the comments, and they can register, and I'll do an online presence review of their business, so of their current situation online, and I'll give them an OP score, and then I make recommendations on how they can improve that so they can be seen online better.
And that is free.
Yeah, that's free. Yeah,
that is, you did that for she did that for me, you guys, and it was so good, because sometimes you know your business so well, or you do all these things and you just need fresh eyes to look at it from an outside perspective, and also look at your Google ranking and all the things. So definitely recommend that. We'll put the link.
Because Nat, you're an ideas, creative, star personality. Sometimes, you have loads of ideas, but it's simplifying it so a person that first comes in knows exactly, where they need to go and what you do. Whereas the creatives, I find a lot of the time, have so many ideas, they just have so much going on, and it's hard for them to simplify it online to show people.
Exactly. Thank you so much. Awesome. All right, Tanya, what's cool about you?
Well, I mean, what's not cool about me? I mean, I love my video. I think what's cool about me, one of the things I absolutely love doing is I'm a numerologist. I used to be a qualified counsellor, and I ran women's workshops and retreats and everything, as well as selling insurance. And then I broke out and did filming, and now I'm been doing numerology readings for people, and it helps people to get really clear on their sole purpose. Why did they come to planet Earth? What are they here to do? And their personality types. And it's a powerful, powerful tool. I've helped hundreds of people over the years getting clear on who they are with just one reading. So I love doing numerology reading. Numbers is the universal language for humanity. It's the only thing that humans agree upon, apart from this virus, which, even though they're not agreeing on that, better not go there with that. But basically, numbers anywhere in the world, they all agree there's a number 1, 2 through to 9. So there's a universal language of your soul. So it's about getting in tune with who you are and bringing that out. So that helps me when I'm teaching people. It helps me when I'm videoing people with the soul signature movies to get really clear not from their head, not thinking what they should be doing, but from their heart. Who are they really, and their soul. And so what I'm doing at the moment, like I've changed, I'm more of an elite video coach, and I'm absolutely loving it. I mean, the people that have come to me and done their 90-day elite video coaching program, I'm putting myself out of a job. I mean, I've got clients that I film, and I don't need to film them anymore because I'm teaching them in 90 days what I know. And so I'm starting another one in June. I think it's the 3rd of June. And basically, you get me for 90 days as your coach.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's just epic. It's amazing, the transformation in these women. So you learn about editing. You learn about I teach you how to be a filmmaker and entertain, not just a videographer. Anyone can hold a phone and talk to it, but this is about making movies that will stand out from everybody else and that will capture their attention in an authentic, sort of entertaining way, versus just talking to the camera. So you learn the whole filmmaking process in that time. There's 6 group calls, so you have the support of a small group, 8 to 10 people, and the support in the groups is just incredible. It's amazing because everybody's doing the same thing. And how many times have you tried to film yourself and something goes wrong? And you go, oh, God, what do I do here? Well, you ring me.
Are you going to call Tanya McQueen?
Yeah, pick up the back phone, or maybe I need a new tagline there, Leanne. So I can help you pretty much on the spot with everything that Nat's talking about, the background, the lighting, the sound. And I'll give you honest, good feedback to, like Nat was talking about, lifting your energy level. So I coach you through that live. So anyone can do a course and watch it, but sometimes things happen, and this is real live, real training on Zoom, and it works really, really well. So I'm really excited to be doing that. I've got a 15-minute free call that you can do with me. I'll send a link, I think, Nat, as if there's any way I can send a link to this so that people can book that. So Yeah, book a 15-minute call with me for free, and I'll have a chat about your video strategy or what help do you actually need. I can either do one-on-one coaching or the course, or I'll direct you to where you need to go if you need help. So
awesome. And you're McQueen Wolf on Instagram? What's your handle?
Well, it's Tanya McQueen at the moment, so it's Tanya McQueen on Facebook, or McQueen Films on Facebook. My website is nearly done. It's incredibly frustrating because I'm a perfectionist, but you can find me on Facebook.
Awesome. And super cool about the numerology. I know that because you actually did my numbers and also my husband's many years ago. Do you still do that? Is that a service you have anymore?
Yes, I definitely do. I've done about 5 readings this week. It's been unbelievable because people are feeling a bit lost. So it's a really good way to get clear on who you are first and then get clear on your business. But you are a business, so if you're not clear on who you are and why you came to if I ask you a question, why are you on planet Earth, and you don't know, you need to get a good coach like Kat or, come and get a numerology reading with me for me to help you out with that stuff.
Very cool. Thank you. All right, Kat, what is cool about you and where can we find you?
Okay, I don't know if it's cool. I think my husband probably finds it frustrating, but I read a book many years ago by a lady called Barbara Shear who really impacted me. And the book was called Refuse to Choose. And in it, she identified a group of people that are slightly out of the norm, because most people tend to stick at a task and become specialists in that task. But then you've got the other people that are kind of equivalent to the old Renaissance man who are fascinated by all these different areas. And I've kind of done that over my life. So when people say, what's your background? It's a bit embarrassing. I've been a pastor. I've been a lecturer. I have been a principal of a ministry training college that I wrote the curriculum for and lectured in for numerous years. I've been a homeschooling mum. I've been a professional musician and toured. I ran my own little photography company for a while there. So you can sort of see, and each one of them I kind of mastered and I love them, and I love learning. I'm a constant learner. I have so many unfinished courses because I'm a course junkie, because I just love learning and mastering new things. So that's the kind of weird thing about me. The cool thing with that, though, is that it means that I can relate and talk to a lot of people from very diverse areas of life, because I've actually read and got interested in all these different areas. So it's well worth reading that book, particularly if you've got someone in your life who goes, I just don't know what to do with my life. I like this and I like this and I like this. Well, actually, that's okay. You're not mad. You're not bad. It's actually okay. You're just a different type of personality. So that was a real relief for me to read that.
And then everyone goes, oh, good.
Yeah, it was a big for me. Now I understand myself. Now I understand why I'm reading about how to write a novel over here, while at the same time I'm writing curriculum for something else over here. Like, for instance, I was in high school. I was on a music scholarship in high school, but I won the science project at the science award at the end of year 12. So I've had both of these sides going in my life for years. So that's the kind of quirky thing about me. Okay, as to what's coming up, a lot of that, because I do reinvent and do try new things, it means I'm constantly making myself really uncomfortable, and turning up in video has been part of that process. And so for the last 8 weeks or so, my discomfort has gone through the roof, because I've suddenly found myself being invited to a number of international summits. And I'm speaking at a live one this Saturday morning, and I'll give you the link for that. It's called Faith Over Fear. So it's bringing your faith in God and combining that with your knowledge about business. And the people they've got speaking in this summit are phenomenal speakers. So I'm dealing with that little crisis of confidence in myself, like, what the hell am I doing there? But I know I'm there for a reason, and I need to stand up and own it at this time. So all of us, I think, all 4 of us would agree that growth is always uncomfortable. You always have to push yourself beyond what's comfortable. So I'm going through that at the moment, as I have to be more visible to a bigger sphere of people who will judge me, who will compare me and all that. And I have to be strong enough for myself to go, that's okay, I'm me, and to go forth with that. So that's coming up on Saturday morning. I'm on, so I'll give you the link, because that looks like an amazing summit. As well, I've got a huge webinar coming up, which I'm so excited about, because my passion is online communities, particularly Facebook groups. They're an incredible way of developing that like trust formula, that mental blank Leanne was talking about. And so I really help people now with really putting these communities into action, creating them with a purpose, and then helping them grow them so it's an authentic, engaged community. So this webinar coming up will tell you more about that. And I have a freebie as well if you want to grab it, and then that will keep you in the loop. It's under www.catcfreegift.com, and that's 5 hacks to rock your Facebook group. So that's me coming up.
Yay, that is awesome. Thank you so much. So for those of you watching live or watching the replay, hopefully you've gleaned some gold today around visibility, and always coming back to, what does visibility mean to you? What does it look like to you? And what is your intention with it? And hopefully you can put some of these tips into action to grow your business and to grow your impact. So I'll say thank you so much to my guests. I'll shimmy you off to the side, and then I'm going to share with you guys what else is coming up. So don't leave. Don't leave, guys. I'll just pop you over here. There we go. Isn't that cool? So I'm using a tool called StreamYard, you guys. And what it does, just for those of you that want more visibility, when you live stream, you can leverage your live stream, meaning we are literally streaming to 5 places at the same time. My personal Facebook page, my business Facebook page, my private group, which you're welcome to join. It's called Go To Girl Amplify Your Impact, Business, and Wellness. It's got about 2,000 people. We're going to Leanne's Facebook page, Better Your Biz, and my YouTube channel. So I'm on StreamYard Pro, and that allows me to go to 5 places. But there's a free version if you just want to go to 1 location, or there's a middle version that takes you to 3 locations. So it's a pretty cool tool. I wanted to share that with you because we're talking about visibility. So you don't have to go and do a video here and a video there and a video everywhere. You just do one. And then, of course, I can go to YouTube, I can grab the embed code, and I can put it in my website. So if you want more info on that, then let me know. And I do have an affiliate link for StreamYard I can share with you. So what's cool about me, some of you guys know I love my op shopping. I'm a total eco geek back from high school. I actually I did my master's of environmental education through Griffith University, but I've never been there because I did it in Christchurch before the earthquake. You figure it out. All right, so I did that. But my point is that this and this, so usually 50% of what I wear every day, not on purpose, just as it is, 50% of my fashion is pre-loved. So I love that. That's what's cool about me. So here's what's coming up, you guys. Tomorrow is Wellness Wednesday. Every Wednesday, I'm doing a Facebook Live around wellness. And the theme each week, so this is my plan. The theme each week is aligned with the same theme of my live streams. So for example, this week it's visibility today, and then mindset and motivation is on Thursday. So when I do Wellness Wednesday, I'm actually talking about some essential oils and some strategies in your life, but I'm talking about oils like bergamot for self-belief, like spearmint for the confident speech, and adaptive to be calm and focused. So the things I choose to speak about are aligned with my topic, which this week is visibility, motivation, and mindset. So that's pretty cool. I'm excited to talk about that topic on Thursday. I've got Lauren, we've got Lauren Parsons, we've got Nick Hoyle and Deb Workman coming in as my guests. And then next week, we're doing mindfulness and self-love. We've got Brian Burniman, Sarah Menlove coming in, and Kamini Russell-Raju, who's here with us on this call. So it's going to be a pretty awesome week. Every week I'm doing 2. I might bring it down to 1. We'll see how we go. But there you go. That's what's coming up. And also, probably the most unusual thing is I'm actually hosting the Go To Girl Networking Night online. So first ever, I've done probably 10 events in the past. Yeah. The first online version that's happening Thursday night this week. If you want to grab your ticket, I do have some Australians coming from across the ditch. It's going to be 90 minutes of not networking, actually. I choose the word, it's connecting. It's 90 minutes of actually connecting. And what I do is I usually these days, what I used to do is I used to book a cafe and I'd call it Table for 8. And I would invite, like, just shoulder tap about 8 awesome people who I just wanted them to meet each other. And I would literally say, this is not networking. We are not here to impress each other. This is like, what's going on for you at the moment? And how can we help you? Like, literally, the conversation is such a different level than, here's my business card, this is what I do. It's not that. It's like, hey, this is where I'm at. This is what I'm trying to achieve. And this is where I need help. And so that's the kind of dialogue, that's the kind of vibe and the tone that I want to recreate online on Thursday night. We'll probably do it as a group and then maybe break into chat rooms on Zoom if need be. But my intention is to connect people with 3 amazing new connections. So that's part of my personal goal. So we'll see you guys there. I'll put the link below. And thank you so much for joining us for another episode. Until next time, remember to up your brave, say what you want, and make it happen. Woo! Bye, guys.
Yeah. See ya.
I want to get okay.